Now, these are the types of homes in Dallas that I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy, which are overpriced listings, unstable school zones, and foundations that are ready to bust open. Now, if you choose the wrong one and you risk losing tens of thousands in missed depreciation or costly repairs, but if you choose right, you can put yourself years ahead financially. And I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell in the Dallas area, and in today's video, I'm breaking down the exact types of homes you should look at instead. All right, so let's kick off with the first strategy, and this one surprises a lot of people, but the thing is that you shouldn't really chase neighborhoods that everyone is already talking about. I think you should follow the retailers. And I know that sounds a little crazy at first, like grocery stores, really, but listen, the move has helped our clients buy into areas that later jumped 15 to 20% in value in their very first year. So why does this work? Because big retailers, they don't gamble. They're not stupid. When they commit to a new store, they've already done months of research. They don't spend millions unless they know growth is coming. So let's take H-E-B, which is a local Texas grocery store. They just opened a brand new store in Prosper. They've got another one in Celina. They've got another one in Celina coming. They announced one that's coming in Denton. And you probably haven't heard this, but they bought land in North Dallas for what could be their very first city store. So H-E-B doesn't just expand anywhere. They are super picky. So whenever they move in, property values usually follow. And if you buy just outside of these areas, you're likely to see your home grow slower than just the identical house just a few minutes that's closer. So that gap compounds over time. Now take Costco. They're doing the same thing, just faster. They've opened a store in Allen recently. They just opened one in Prosper. They've got another one under construction in Celina. And that's what's wild, how they time it. They don't wait until the area is packed out with houses. They get in early when they see the growth curve coming, and they can get land at a cheaper price too. And then you've got Frisco, which is another good example. The mixed development is bringing in Whole Foods as part of a $3 billion project. And when you see that level of retail investment, you know that the big players believe in the long-term value of that area. But here's also the payoff for the homeowners. Properties near these retail anchors, they don't just get more convenient, they appreciate faster because you're literally in the path of growth. So Dallas-Fort Worth added nearly 178,000 new residents in just 1 year, and corporate relocations are driving the retail and the residential growth, especially in Collin County and Denton County. So those are north of Dallas. But because you haven't really seen anything yet, because Celina even has Walmart coming in, that's going to change Celina. They've also got Home Depot and Lowe's, and that's just the first piece of it. Finding growth before the crowd. The next step, though, isn't just where you buy, but when you buy. So if you get this wrong, it could cost you $50,000 in timing alone. And actually, the number one retailer you should keep an eye out that will give you an indication that that area is about to transition or explode in growth is Starbucks. So when you see new Starbucks going in, especially if there's open fields around, know that the new developments are coming. And if Starbucks goes into an existing community, then likely gentrification is probably going to start happening in that area if it's an older community. But Starbucks, they're no dummies either. Now, here's the deal on timing your buy in a master plan community. Now, if you do this right, the strategy has saved our clients up to $50,000 while getting them into the neighborhood that they wanted to as well at the same time. So that's the part of what a lot of buyers get wrong. They think phase one is always the best deal. That's not always the case, but I want to break down how picking the right phase could save you money or even cost you money over time. But phase one does have its perks. Prices are usually entry or the lowest sometimes, so you get the most options to customize. The appreciation potential is high because you're in early, but there are the trade-offs. You're surrounded by all the construction. You might wait for years for some amenities to go in, and the community vibe isn't quite there yet. So the builder incentives in phase one could be pretty big, but right now, think about like Castle Rock Communities, they're offering deals up to $125,000. And so we're talking about rate buydowns, closing cost credits, design allowances, and even waiving some of the lot premiums. But the best part is that when you line up this strategy with the 3+ year post-construction sweet spot I'm going to cover here in just a minute, you're set up for appreciation and stability. And so that combo is pretty rare in Dallas. But if you look at phase 2 and phase 3, they come with their own wins. By then, typically amenities are done, landscaping is matured or complete, and you can see how the builder did in phase 1 as well. You know their quality how fast they can build, and if they can fix problems that may come up. So take Windsong Ranch, for example. The Blue Lagoon is already done. That's been done for a while. Commons, their main area is complete. They just opened a bridge, a new amenity center and park area. Then they've got another pickleball court coming in, but they're still finalizing the last phases of Windsong Ranch. And when you buy in a later phase, you're not sitting waiting on hopes and prayers. You can enjoy the amenities typically right away, right? So think about like this one community, Canyon Falls. They've got pools, fitness centers, trails already done. You walk in knowing exactly what you're buying. There's no guessing. And we have seen communities that have promised certain amenity centers and did not complete them, or completed them a year or two late. And if you pick the wrong phase, you could end up with the same house as your neighbor, except that they paid less. They got $50,000 in incentives and really enjoy the amenities for years to come. But also even waiting till maybe the end of the quarter, or if you're closer to the end of the year as well, then you also know that builders love to close out inventory. So sometimes they're willing to take an even bigger hit whenever you hit some of those cycles. But of course, timing matters, but it's not the only factor, right? For families, one risk outweighs even incentives, which is rezoning schools. And that's our next issue that you need to keep an eye out for. So, by the way, we're the #1 relocation team here in Dallas, and we've helped hundreds of families navigate these neighborhoods every single year. So on this channel, I share, all these insider tips that could literally save you thousands on your next home purchase. So if you don't mind, please subscribe. That really does help the channel. It helps us keep making these videos for you. Turn on the notifications as well. That way whenever we release a new video, that will keep you up to date on the current market. Now, the next strategy is pretty big if you're buying a family home, because it's about the school districts with stable boundaries, and that stability will protect your home value and give your kids some consistency year after year. So think about this. You buy a home for the schools, and then 2 years later, your kids get rezoned. This happens more often than you can think, and it can flip the value of your home or disrupt your kids' school. And on Wednesday nights, I help out with the youth group at my local church, and I work with the kids. Last year they were in 7th grade. This year they're in 8th grade, and Prosper opened up a new high school, a new middle school, and half of the kids I work with got rezoned just like that to the new middle school. So that's something you got to keep an eye out too in these new construction areas. But let me give you some other examples. So look at Carroll ISD in Southlake. They're ranked #1 in Dallas-Fort Worth. They scored like straight A's in the 2025 T ratings. And then you got Highland Park, which is one of the best in the state. Capel ISD is ranked #5 statewide as well. So they have pretty stable boundaries and steady enrollment, which is really, what you should be looking for. You got Plano ISD, Frisco ISD. They both rank high, academically, but the big difference is that Frisco ISD usually keeps boundaries pretty stable. Plano ISD has some boundary changes this year because of closures and shifting enrollment. So that right there could make or break your investment. But Dallas ISD also has some strong schools. 4 of them rank in Texas top 10, and one is even top 10 in the nation. So the School for Talented and Gifted at Yvonne makes that national list every year. But remember, Dallas ISD still makes boundary changes. Families near Foster and Withers Elementary have already felt that. So the biggest risk, though, is probably going to be Prosper and Celina, which are growing like crazy, right? They added more than 800 residents alone in Celina. So enrollment is set to quadruple by 2033 to 2034. And in May, they approved a $2.3 billion bond to build 11 new schools, including another high school. So with that type of growth, boundary changes are guaranteed. It doesn't mean that Celina is a bad place to buy, but you've got to know the downside or the upside of rezoning. So your kids might start in one school and finish up in another, and that can hit both your family's experience and your home's long-term value. And if you buy in the wrong district, you could lose the stability your family that, was really looking for, while also wiping, tens of thousands off the home's value. But even the best district can't really protect you if your builder cuts corners, right? Now, of course, this is pretty important, but we want to talk about one of the biggest mistakes that Dallas buyers can make, which is, picking the wrong builder. But that mistake could cost you tens of thousands in foundation repairs because, finishes are great, but what really matters is the foundation and how it will last over the next, 10, 20, and 30 years. course, here in Dallas, that is a pretty big deal. We have clay soil, so it expands up to 75% when it gets wet. That's like 14,000 pounds of pressure per square foot. So if the foundation isn't built right, that kind of pressure will just tear it apart. And so what do? You look at the warranties. Now, always double check, but builders should have a standard 1 to 10 home buyer warranty, which is a big deal. So 1 year for workmanship, you got 2 years for systems, and 10 years for structural issues. Although some recent legislation in 2024, they might downgrade that 10 year to 6 years on foundation. And the foundation warranty could include some soil movement, but keep in mind, that's not always included. So some soil issues are left out, so make sure that you always look at the fine print. But the best builders, they don't really stop there. They get soil reports from licensed engineers. So those reports show how much the soil is expected to move and how the foundation should be designed. I mean, not every builder does this, but it's something you should always ask for. Now, foundation repair warranties often offer lifetime coverage, which sounds good, but the real key is to find the builder who rarely even needs to use that warranty, especially to get it repaired and then have a repair warranty. I mean, that's how you know it was built right in the first place. But if you skip that step, I mean, one crack in the foundation could erase years of savings. And the worst part of that is many warranties don't even cover the type of soil movement that's really the most common in Dallas. But how do you avoid that? I mean, you really want to target homes in a very specific age range. That's one way to do it. And that's the next issue we'll discuss. So what age range, should you be looking at? Well, it's homes where foundations have already settled, but the warranties are still in place. So hardly anyone really talks about this, but it could be a game changer. So this is really how it works. So homes hit that sweet spot when they're old enough to already have settled, but still new enough for the warranties to be in place. So if you think about brand new homes move around in the first few years as the soil shifts under the weight. I mean, most buyers, they either grab brand new homes or go for much older homes, and they skip right over this little window. And think about the science of this for a second. I mean, foundations settle mostly between 6 and 18 months, and things usually level out by year 3. So after repair, homes and the clay soil, they need another 4 to 6 weeks to resettle. So those numbers aren't random. I mean, they come from years of Dallas market data. But what most people don't realize is that, APSW structural warranties cover 1 year for workmanship, 1 to 2 years of systems, and 10 years for structural issues. And they do transfer to the next owner typically, and that's a big deal. So most builder warranties cover the structural problems for up to 10 years or 6 to 10 years based on the legislation. And that's based on when that home was built, not whenever you buy it. So if you pick up a 3-year-old home, you might still have 7 years of coverage left. So that's a pretty big safety net on a home that's already gone through, its shifting phase. I mean, some premium builders even offer some lifetime transferable warranties, which really gives you peace of mind and protection without wondering, if your foundation is going to crack during those years. And then, of course, in 2025, I mean, builder incentives are the strongest we've seen. I mean, you've got rate buydowns, closing cost credits, you got design allowances, anything you could ask for almost. I mean, even if you pay a little more for a settled home, chances are the sellers got huge incentives that they're going to pass along in the price. So that little sweet spot strategy has saved our clients an average of tens of thousands of dollars in foundation issues. If you get a house that's kind of like broken in, definitely not broken down. But at the end, the real power comes whenever you kind of stack these strategies together. So you think about that, you got retail growth, you got good timing, stable schools, trusted builders, and then if you find the rare Dallas homes that were built really well, then this is going to set you up for the long term. So if you want some help finding that perfect type of home, reach out. My business partner Travis and the team and I would love to help you make a very smooth move to the Dallas area. But also subscribe for more of those insider strategies that you see. But also, if you want to check out which neighborhoods you should absolutely avoid, make sure you check out this video because you'll learn a lot.